In the previous videos, we had learned about how to represent an organic compound. The hydrocarbons are basically, they consist of carbon and hydrogen. And these are then, the hydrogens are then replaced by various atoms or groups of atoms for us to get various types of organic compounds. And in this video, we are going to be talking about classification of organic compounds. The first one is acyclic and cyclic. So acyclic or open chain compounds are also called as aliphatic. So they're also called as aliphatic compounds, and they consist of either straight or branched chain carbon. So it could be straight chain or it can be a branched chain. But basically they are an open chain structure. So examples of these compounds include methane, you have ethane, you have isobutane, you have acetaldehyde, and then you have acetic acid. So all of these are an open chain, and so they come under aliphatic compounds or acyclic compounds. Cyclic compounds, on the other hand, are ringed, which means they form a ring, which means they're closed chain. Okay, and they are further classified into alicyclic, aromatic, and heterocyclic. So alicyclic compounds, they have, first of all, these compounds will have either 3 or more than 3 carbon atoms, and their examples include cyclopropane, then you have cyclopentane. I'm just going to draw the structure, and then you have cyclohexene, which means it has a double bond. So alicyclic compounds, the main thing is they have 3 or more carbon atoms and they are forming a ring. Okay. Now aromatic compounds have specific properties. I think you'll be learning about this in detail. So aromatic compounds, they actually have to follow 3 rules, and I do not know if you'll be learning it at a later, in class 12, but they are basically classified into 2, benzoid and non-benzoid. So benzene is the organic, benzene is a 6-membered ring with 3 alternate double bonds, and all the benzoid compounds will consist of the benzene ring. So benzoid compounds can also include 2 benzene rings fused together. Okay, and it can also include 3 benzene rings also fused together. And when 2 benzene rings are fused together, it is called as naphthalene. When 3 benzene rings are fused together like this, it's called as anthracene. So benzoid compounds have a benzene ring. Non-benzoid compounds do not have a benzene ring. So this is an example of a non-benzoid compound, but it is aromatic. So it does not have this benzene ring, but this is considered to be aromatic. And you'll be learning again about that in detail at a later point. And this is called as tropone. This non-benzoid compound is called as tropone. Now heterocyclic compounds, they consist of, apart from carbon, they will also have either a nitrogen or a sulfur or an oxygen atom in their ring. So all of these rings, they just have carbon atoms. They all have carbon atoms, but in case of heterocyclic compounds, they consist of other atoms as well, like nitrogen, sulfur, and oxygen. So they are also classified to get non-aromatic and aromatic. So non-aromatic examples include this, one second, NH. So these are the examples of non-aromatic heterocyclic compounds. So if you notice, they do not have a I mean, they have another atom apart from carbon in the cycle, and this compound is called as tetrahydrofuran. So this is a azolidine molecule, and then you have aromatic also, and they are furan. This is furan. This is thiophene, and this is pyridine. So aromatic, again, you have three conditions that basically are to do with the fact that these are aromatic or not, and I think I'll put a video about that in the end of this chapter or something. So organic compounds are basically classified into two, acyclic and cyclic compounds. Acyclic are basically also called as aliphatic compounds. They consist of open chain carbons, and these chains can even be branched. Then cyclic compounds are further classified into alicyclic, aromatic, heterocyclic. Actually, if you think about it, heterocyclic can come under alicyclic as well as aromatic. See, for example, you can have non-aromatic heterocyclic compounds as one of the classification under alicyclic, and aromatic heterocyclic compounds under the aromatic compounds. But to make things easy, I just put it down as a separate side heading. So alicyclic compounds, they just have carbon rings, and basically these compounds are not they don't have aromaticity. Aromatic compounds, they're classified into two, benzoid and non-benzoid. This is a benzene ring. Benzene is basically a cyclic compound with 6 carbon atoms, and they have 3 double bonds which are alternate to each other. And so benzoid compounds will have a benzene ring, whereas non-benzoid compounds will not have a benzene ring. So this is actually a 7-membered ring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So this is a 7-membered ring but does not have a benzene ring. Heterocyclic compounds consist of not just carbon atoms. In the ring you will have both carbon as well as another type of atom. I mean, it could be a nitrogen, it could be a sulfur, it could be an oxygen. They are further classified into non-aromatic and aromatic. With that, we finish the class. Basic idea behind the classification of organic compounds. In the next video, we will be discussing functional groups and their names as well as the homologous series.